of my video.
What's up, alrighty weirdos? Hey, it is me, BC, and of course you are watching Project Flambeau, where we like to get weird about words in the ways that only writers can. We write them and we talk about writing them. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. Of course you all know me, BC. I'm a writer of paranormal paranormal mysteries, urban fantasies, contemporary fiction, and basically all things weird. And my badass co-host over here, co-writer over here, is Sako Tumi. Sako, go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody.
Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as Cass Voigt. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. So if you are interested in videos pertaining to marketing for authors, actually, we both do them. There's a whole playlist of them on my channel. Please drop by. I would love to see you.
Yes. Also, yeah, the whole playlist of marketing stuff on my channel as well, because Sako and I, both have a background in marketing. We like to focus on authors, whether you are traditionally published, indie published, or you've been published a long time and just want to think of some different marketing ideas and get your head into some different marketing places. We both got you covered.
We both got you covered.
So yeah, I'm back, weirdos. So I will be streaming. This is my new time on Fridays for YouTube. I will be doing productivity sprints, writing sprints, whatever you want to call them. Get yourself moving sprints, whatever you need them for. Sometimes Sako will be here with me. Sometimes she won't. It'll just depend. Maybe sometimes we'll throw in other guest hosts as well. If you would like to guest host, of course, comment down below. We would love to have more folks and everything. And yeah, so this is what I will be streaming on YouTube on Fridays. It is from 7:30 a.m. till 9:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, which as of right now is 10:30 a.m. till noon 30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, until, of course, all that lovely time change stuff happens later in the fall. Then I'll have to figure out everybody else's time zone again.
All over again. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I am also on Twitch as well. You can find all my links down below. Also on Twitch on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, same times, 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Doing the things on Twitch as well. Yeah. And then every so often on my new Twitch channel, you guys will find me doing random pop-ups, usually for gaming, art, other type of stuff. Sako does some amazing art channel streams that. It's fun. It's just so much fun for me to watch you in your process as an artist. I learn a whole bunch of stuff, just watching you pick your pencils that you'll use, or watching you pick your shading and your opacity levels that you would use. Even though I don't work digitally like you do, it's so much fun for me to just watch that, because I find myself going back to when I'm doing my manual sketching in my sketchbook, even though I don't use color or anything, thinking, okay, Sako, she made this line a lot thicker and it had this cooler effect. Or it had or she made this line thinner and it had a subtle effect. And I take it back. I've also looked at noses a little differently, because you do them a little differently than I've seen that I've referenced other artists do them. And I was like, oh, I wonder if I do a nose the Sako way, if it'll look better on this face. Cool. That I'm putting together and cobbling together out of, I got Sako's nose, and I got another art streamer's the way they do their eyes, and another art streamer's the way they do their ears. And I'm I got those weird Frankenstein monsters creature and everything. But before I do that, I am going to play my intro video, just because, I like my intro video. And I like everybody to see it. So give me 1 second, and we're going to take 10 seconds to watch that. I actually have to remember to update my video because I have a new logo now that I'm pretty excited about. So I paid just in the marketing game. Let's talk a little bit about marketing for a second. So I am not a logo designer, even though I do a little bit of graphic design and I can design logos. They're usually very simple. But for me, I wanted something not so simple, wanted something a little more professional. So I actually went out to Fiverr and had some designers actually put together some logos for me, and they're just text logo. It's just, font logo. It's not anything crazy other than a splash of some looks like ink or paint with it. And I liked it. I enjoyed it. But as I've been looking at my branding more for Twitch, or just looking at my branding more because I was putting together my Twitch channel, I realized I wanted to incorporate more than just my yellow, black, and white that I've been doing for so long, because it's really hard to get white letters to look good on yellow ink splash, paint splash. You can't. You can't. They just, and so I was like, okay, well, if I incorporate a little bit of some other colors in my brand, that'll be okay. I was like, I could do that, and that would offset my white a little bit with the yellow, and then I could do that. So I was playing around, and we know how much I like green because, once you and I started putting together the Victoria Von Rock stuff, and you started throwing in your brand of green, I was like, that looks so good with my brand of yellow.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so I was like, yeah, so I'll bring that green into it a little bit. But I was also playing around with something the other day for Twitch. It was just like the little graphic for the about section. I was like, all right, well, I'll just put a little head of a woman being weird. And of course, I made her hair, my hair color with the orangey red.
Yeah.
And I realized those three colors together, once I had, gone and grabbed the RBG code for it and everything, that my hair color, your brand of green, and my brand of yellow are actually very compatible with each other.
Oh.
So I was like, So I started playing around with my own logo after I had, had them design it for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool to have gone and paid for a logo that probably I'm not going to ultimately end up using, but it was enough to get me thinking of how to make a logo exactly like I wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
They came pretty close after all the back and forth. They came pretty close and came up with something that I was happy with in the moment. But now it's kind of cool to
mess around with it now that you have it.
Yeah, now that I have an idea of how to expand out my branding a little bit, which, I want to point out to folks is your branding will absolutely evolve with your own interests over time. I got a kitten and another cat playing in the background behind me, so I'm going to have to oust them here in a few moments. Hey, get away from that. Yeah, okay. We've got a plant that's isolated in here because it had a spider mite infestation.
Oh no.
Isolated from all most of our other plants. I mean, there are some plants in here, but it's back on my partner's desk, which normally it has no plants on it.
Right.
And they're just they ate this thing. It was like a little ginseng tree. They ate this tree into oblivion initially, and it's finally starting to sprout and come back.
Oh.
But now it's got a spider mite issue. So we've been doing everything we can to save it, and they're after this tree again because they snuck in here when my partner snuck in to say goodbye for the day because they're headed to work.
Yeah.
Stop it. What are you doing? Leave it alone. Anyway, so I want to say hey to the folks in the chat. Precious Cousins, good to see you. Spence, my lovely weirdo, good to see you. So glad you could join us this morning. We're probably going to get started here in just a moment on our sprint. So Sako and I were talking a little bit before. Most of you know the project that we're working on, which is Project Flambeau, which is our collaborative urban fantasy paranormal thriller story that we're working on and have been writing in tandem on the streams for the past year. We are pushing really hard to get this done so that we can get this out this fall. A little later than we initially planned, but we're thinking sometime in October. maybe a Halloween debut kind of a thing.
Yeah.
If we can get the words written, because we're gonna have to get the words written. And with that
like
said,
we're gonna have to like forego betas. Like,
so I did go ahead and reach out to my non-binary and my Latina sensitivity readers.
oh, perfect.
And let them know it was not quite finished, and it was still rough as far as like some editing that needed to be done and stuff like that. But if they could go ahead and start taking the first couple of chapters and start giving us their feedback, that I would love them for it.
Yeah, this
and yeah, and they were both cool with it. So yeah, I was going to talk to you about that. Yeah, I'm going to kill these cats this morning. So yeah, I can go ahead and start sending out the first couple of chapters to them, and then with our big 10K push that we have coming up. So not this weekend, kiddos, but next weekend, which would be the weekend of the 28th and 29th, Sako and I will be respectfully streaming. Yes, no, maybe so.
I put September 3rd, but if we
we could do. Yeah, it would be September 4th and 5th would be the weekend.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Cool. We could do that. I don't have anything planned that weekend.
That is, oh my God, what year am I in? So
any of us know that?
Plan. I just redid my 5-year plan, or at least part of it. September 3rd, Flambeau 10K weekend with BC. So we will be going on at 1 p.m. Eastern. I will be on Saturday. BC will be on Sunday, and we will do 5K a pop and basically go on at 1 and work until we are done. So like kind of like, Keelan back in the day.
Yeah, like Keelan used to
those 10K weekends where she was like on for like hours and hours and hours and hours.
Yeah. Hopefully with both of us trying to meet 5K each day, it's, like it 2,500 divided up between the two of us is pretty reasonable.
I think so too.
I mean, it's still going to be a push, and we're still going to be on for several hours because, we only type so quickly and the words only flow so fast. But I really think it'll be, both of us working in the same project, 10K, I think is pretty easy enough push for a weekend. So yeah, so September 4th, we will be on Sako's channel then. We will do the normal productivity stream on September 3rd, which will be my Friday morning stream. We'll do the normal productivity stream. And then Saturday, we will be on Sako's channel. Sako Tumi, real easy to find. Her name's down there, right there. Right there. Yeah. So we'll be on her channel at 1 p.m. Eastern time, which is 10 a.m.
Mountain time.
Yes, which is 10 a.m. my time. And we will write until we hit 5K. We will, and that'll be here on YouTube, right? We're doing this on YouTube?
On YouTube.
Okay, just checking. And that'll be here on YouTube. And then on Sunday, September 5th, we'll be on my channel at 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Mountain time, Pacific time, whatever, until we write 5K again that day, because right now we are standing at, without taking out those all of our finished bullet points and without adding any bullet points, we're at 47,325 words. I've been hit or missing adding here and there. So we are almost at the 50,000 word mark, which is the bare essentials really needed for a full-length novel. So any higher we can push that, great. And then, of course, we're going to have to go through final editing, which is going to take some stuff out here and there. So, I think with a 10K day, we'll be pushing close to 60,000 words, which will be good. We've been editing as we go, so I think it'll be really good we'll be really light on our final editing. Of course, any kind of ads that we have to make or anything that we have to take out from what the sensitivity readers say, that'll be, we'll have to take that into consideration too. But
Yeah.
I think we're doing good overall. Hey, Mal, good to see you. I hope you don't mind me calling you Mal. If you do, I will call you Mallory. Just let me know. Pretty good this morning. We're getting ready to write with our first sprint. You guys want to do 20 minutes?
20
or do we
minutes.
want to do?
Right.
Okay. Let's find. I haven't done a timer in a while, and I really want to do a timer. So let's find a timer to do. Because I was going in on my stream yesterday on Twitch, and I was like, oh, I haven't done a timer in forever. I couldn't get my OBS to work properly to save my freaking life yesterday.
Oh.
And so I couldn't get the timer to pop up. Oh God, I got a kitten like in my lap all of a sudden. Say hi to Josh, everybody.
Hi, Josh.
This is my little Tux dragon.
Hi, Tux dragon.
He's not a hold me. He's not a hold me. He's very much let me lay in your lap and let me pet you. But he's not a let me.
But as soon as you put your hands around him, he's like, no.
Yeah, as soon as he feels like his center of gravity shift and he's like gonna levitate. Oh, now I've got Spot up there in the window destroying everything on my window seal. Like he just knocked my xenomorph on the ground, and he's gonna go for that lawn gnome, that skelly gnome here in a second. I know he will, but it's a lot heavier, like a lot heavier. Cool. Mal is fine. Awesome. Yes. Okay. So his mom is a Tux as well. And she loves to be held. She loves to be cradled like a baby, loves to be held. So I don't know. She's like the most docile cat on the face of the planet, especially for being a street queen. But he's just like, no, I got to run around too much. But he'll come lay on me. Like he will totally come curl up with me. You have to be petting him or else he won't lay on you. But if you are even just half-assed scratching him, then he's happy. All right, so we are going to put a timer up. Ooh, we are inceptioning at the moment because I have not. Yeah. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started on this lovely timer and get our sprint on. Let me go back to actual 20 here so we're not gypped at all. So we're going to sprint for 20 minutes. This has music with it, but I am actually not going to do music with it just because, So we are going to sprint in 3, 2, 1. Sprint. All right, my weirdos. Time is up on that 20-minute sprint. How did everybody do? I feel like I did okay. I saw the bullet points that you had added in. I went ahead and added in a couple here and there.
I had them, yeah.
Yeah, and then I went ahead and moved the section. So Sako and I were talking about on my Thursday writing stream. Oh God, that was just yesterday morning. Yesterday feels like such an interminably long day to me.
Yeah.
But on my Twitch stream on yesterday morning, I was writing along like I should have been, following my bullet points, and boom, out of nowhere, an evolution in our main characters, our main female characters' powers, like just pop, just like I was just writing this. I wasn't even thinking. I was on like in the zone on autopilot, and it was just writing along. And I was like, I wrote this, and I was like, now wait a minute, our power shouldn't do that, but it's cool. And if I think it through, so then I had to reach out to Sako and be like, what do you think? So we were discussing it before the stream. We were discussing it in chat a little bit yesterday and discussing it before the stream today. So the evolution of our character's power, it made us have to change up the order of a few things. And then we're going to have to add some little tiny, we're going to have to backtrack a little and go and weave in some subtle like foreshadowing and stuff like that. So no matter how well you brainstorm and plot, and even after you get your developmental edits and you're going along on your third draft, ready to push for a fourth, pretty much final draft, yeah, you could still have total things that just come out of nowhere and surprise the hell out of you. So there were a bunch of people that popped into the chat. I'm so happy to see my weirdos come back. So let me see. I gotta scroll back up. And Jenny is here. Love Jenny, one of my favorite weirdos. Debbie as well. I'm so happy to see you again and talk to everybody. Ms. Christopher is here. Ms. Poe. Darling weirdos. Yes, we have lovely weirdos, darling weirdos, and just, hey, weirdos. Hey, Jordan. Good to see you here. I like Jordan's comment here. And then immediately below. Okay, I'm going to say the last word again because my voice dictation so got that wrong. I meant the May prompt-a-thon instead of the main plant the phone.
Yeah.
Gotta love voice dictation. I find it funny sometimes because despite being deaf, hard of hearing, I do a lot of voice dictation on projects. I do a lot of voice recordings and I do speech to text. And then I just go back and look over my notes with my text later. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes I literally just have to like go back and just like turn the ears on and re-listen to the actual recording because I'm like, yeah, that speech to text was just off. And I can't even puzzle out what I was trying to say based on. Yeah,
I have been.
It's just like
I've been like looking into dictation just to get like words out, and I'm thinking about doing that with the Harris's house.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see what we can do. I like Moon Buddy. I'm in your jets. Doing a lurk.
Thank you for the lurk.
It's good to see. Lurkers. Yes. So happy to see you, Sage. How's it going? It's it's fall. No, it's spring for you, right? Yeah, I think so. We're fall.
I think it's finally
spring.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's her spring. So I hope you're having a beautiful spring and everything. We were both very excited to see Sage.
Yes.
Yeah, so I had to be off camera for so long because I had to shoo the kitties out of the office, and that required chasing because it was Spot and Josh, and they require being chased out of here instead of Domino and Gozer that can just kind of gently be herded. Like I can just open the door and indicate to those two that I want them to leave. Spot and Josh, I have to like like break out the water bottle and like chase them around with the water bottle and like herd them out the door, or just grab them and scoop them, and and then I had to go out there and have a talking to them, because as soon as I got them out there and I closed the door, all I hear is, and I was like, shit, what did I like do? And it was just Gozer being a grumpy old bastard, and grumpy void. He's just my grumpy fluffy void. Yep, gotta do what you gotta do. And it's morning time, so ablutions must be had, etc., etc. Jordan's gonna be back in a minute. Jenny did dishes and talked to the daughter, which is always good. Managed to get myself sucked into 3 streams, and since I'm still trying to wake up, I got nada done, but inhaled caffeine. I've got my caffeinated water this morning.
I guess tea counts as caffeinated water.
Yeah, it's colored caffeinated water. Yeah. Debbie's working on inking a page. Got a character halfway. Very nice.
Awesome.
A lot of people don't know. I didn't grow up deaf or hard of hearing. So Jordan was saying that they don't believe that I'm deaf or hard of hearing. I didn't grow up deaf or hard of hearing. It didn't start happening until my teens, and it was so gradual that I just naturally adjusted. And it wasn't until my mid-20s that it really became noticeable and really impacted my life. It's a very rapid degeneration now, unfortunately. My hearing implants do really well, and I have about 60% normative hearing, but I also do speech lessons to maintain my speech. I practice a lot on making sure I'm enunciating well and not talking too loud, not talking too softly. But I no longer have the concept of a whisper. Like if I'm whispering, I have no idea, because I can hear nothing at all. So like, I'm just like, oh, okay. But yeah. Yeah, but a lot of people, they really don't know. I work very hard to make sure. I mean, I lip read, of course, body language. I use my sign language when I need it, which isn't often, but it's more or less when I'm drunk that I sign, actually. And I just don't, it's because I'm not thinking. And so I just start signing. I'm not thinking. I'm with hearing people. They're not going to know, like they don't know sign, but I do it anyway. And I do it at karaoke a lot. Like I'll sign during karaoke. Oh, it should be spring, but the weather hasn't gotten the memo yet. Well, it's kind of still early spring for you, I think, because it's early fall for us. So, but it's not good.
We love you. We love you. Hopefully your day gets better. I hope.
Yeah. Existence should improve, but also if you just need to exist for a day, it is perfectly valid to just exist for the day. I had that day it was Tuesday. So like I woke up to all the storming. We had power outages, internet outages. So my stream had to be canceled on Twitch that morning. And I was depressed from that. And then the day just got shittier and shittier and shittier. And I was like, oh, no, kind of a day. So it was just an existing day for me on Tuesday this week. We just have them. Spence, fixed it. I'm back. I love mwahaha's. We've got some woo-woos. We got positive woo-woos coming from Jenny to Sage. Bonnie, just being Bonnie. Good to see you. Tea definitely counts as caffeinated water. That is for sure.
Okay.
Lots of internet hugs and hugging back. Yeah, so I think
and Sarah,
this next sprint.
And
Sarah popped in.
Yay!
Oh wait, still summer. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Sarah, good to see you. I've been loving your gaming streams lately, Sarah. They just I just love the comments that you make during your gaming streams. I hardly watch the game and just listen to you talk and shit talk with other people you're playing with and stuff during the game, or just bad mouth the game as you're playing it. It's one of my favorite things to do. Like you and as your Raven Witch, love to watch the two of you game. Usually have no idea what the fuck you're playing. And I'm like not there for the gameplay, but I am totally there for the two of you shit talking the game and just like shit talking with anybody you're playing with. It's awesome. Spence was saying it's still summer, but past the first harvest, so we're getting there. Cool. Yep. It is very definitely monsoon season in Arizona. This is the first time in 8 years it has been a true, I understood what people said when they called it monsoon season. Because when I think of monsoon season, I think of like the Philippines and Southeast Asia's monsoon season, which is cloyingly hot, suffocating moisture in the air, and it rains. Like you get rain constantly because you don't get it the rest of the year.
Right.
Kind of thing. So when I moved here, that's what I thought people meant. And people were like, well, we do, but we don't get it daily. We just get like these big storms every so often. But it's cloyingly hot, suffocatingly hot. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. But this year, people were saying this is what monsoon season is supposed to be like in Arizona. We're supposed to be worried about flash flooding because our ground is basically Arizona is one big giant kiln, and it just bakes the sandy clay soil. The sun just bakes it year round into pottery. And so when the rain does hit, it soaks in this much and then flash floods.
Yeah.
And that's like it. Soaks in this much of the loose sand over the clay, over the baked clay, and then everything flash floods. But yeah, it's actually been like low 80s here and really super humid and raining daily with, of course, sunshine daily because it can storm the biggest storms here I've ever seen out of one freaking rain cloud. And the whole rest of the sky is blue with sunshine. Like, it's weird.
That's how it was when we were in Arizona too. We have photographic evidence somewhere of like us being on one side of the street who are completely dry, and then our friend right across the street who is completely drenched and
and almost can't see him.
And you almost can't see him.
So there was a TikTok that my partner and I were watching the other night while we prepped dinner and like cooked dinner together. We usually like just watch TikTok, listen to TikTok. And it was this person recording like the rain creeping up the road. Like you could see the sheet of rain and you could just watch it advancing slowly up the road. Like they were standing on the dry side and they just stood there at the end of their driveway watching the rain. And then, it just engulfed them and then moved past them. Like, and I was just like, yeah, that's Arizona right there.
Yeah.
We just watch it roll in and go, it's going to rain in 23 minutes or so based on how fast it's moving.
Yeah.
So,
hi, Megan.
I don't know. Is the like button different now? I'll admit, I've been a little less on YouTube and more on Twitch lately, watching people, but I didn't notice a change, or maybe my YouTube just hasn't updated yet. But thank you for hitting the like.
Yeah, maybe my YouTube hasn't updated.
Maybe that could be. Maybe it's just not rolled out to everybody yet. Sage says, yeah, like button different for them too. Cool. All right, well, get weird with my like button and then enjoy it, Jenny. It's even more fun playing a game with Sarah while she's shit talking. Yeah.
That's awesome. I am always quite remiss when on Friday nights, because Friday nights are date night, which means I can never make it to Sarah's streams.
Sarah's stream. I know, ditto. Friday nights are date night. And so I get off late enough as it is. I get off at like 7 p.m. Sometimes it's like a lot later than that if I get stuck in a call with an employee or something.
Right.
And it's always on Friday evenings that I get stuck in a call because I don't work on the weekends. So it's people like pushing to get their benefits explained to them because they have an appointment Monday morning at the doctor and forgot to call about their benefits and ask what they need. So I end up working late. And so, yeah, I never get to go to Sarah's stream at all. Like I'll turn it on in the background and hit the like button and let her get the watch time, but I like never get to listen to it because on doing date night things.
Yeah. Maybe I'll do that too, just so, extra watch time and one more person in the
One more person just, like liking and, appeasing the analytic gods and that, appeasing the algorithm and stuff, helping out. So
that dictation is
they still like foot, and it's different for me. I don't like it. Foot, still like. Trying to think of how you could say a word that dictates more like foot. Okay, Jordan, you're gonna have to drop us what foot was supposed to be. Yeah, it's different for me. Also, my friends still like foot, and it's different for me. I don't like it. Yeah, that voice dictation's a little off this morning. Either that or you're not caffeinated enough to be enunciating, which is usually my issue. In the mornings, people are like, what did you just say? And I'm like, caffeine, hold on.
So Debbie talks about the smell of rain. The smell of ozone is one of my favorite scents ever.
Yes, it is so good.
And you can feel,
and it is,
you can like feel the energy in the air when there's going to be a lightning storm. Oh.
Yeah, you feel like the vibration of the energy bouncing around and like being trapped and like shaking. Yeah.
Ooh, so great.
Bonnie saying that their dragon works well with their Mac. Got to customize the voice though.
I got you.
That's true. So I have had a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends that have some type of visual impairment, either low vision or, missing whole sections of vision, or just straight up blind in many different shades of blind. And they all talk very well about Dragon. Like I remember when it initially came out,
it was buggy as
a lot of people were like, this sucks, kind of a thing. But I think they've done a good job with actually improving the technology. And most people now, I hear them say that they just love their Dragon. We don't get worm issues in Arizona. I don't. Slugs. I could see that. Yeah, slugs don't live here. I don't think worms live here, honestly. I don't think they could burrow through the concrete that is our Earth here. But we have the monster roaches, which you typically don't get inside your home. But when it rains, they get pushed in. They get pushed out of the sewers and the canals because the canals all flood. And then they get pushed into yards, and then you end up getting like one or two of them in the house, which it's like you can't do the
bugs in general don't bother me, but roaches. Yeah, I will get up on a chair and scream.
Yeah, I go get my partner every time. I'm so girly when it comes to. I had a really traumatic childhood experience with roaches, though.
Oh.
I was visiting my step aunt, and we were in Florida. We'd gone down to Florida, and it was like the hottest, most humid time of the year there, which she warned us, that brings the roaches out. And she's like, and we have flying roaches, so just a heads up. And so like during the day and everything, I was okay. Let's just say I grew up kind of in poverty, and I was used to roaches. Like you move into an apartment complex, they're gonna be there.
Yeah.
You move into a trailer court, they're gonna be there. Like it was just keeping your house clean enough to keep them at bay in your own home, kind of a thing. So I thought no big deal about it. Well, we were sleeping, like falling asleep one night, and I was mostly asleep and had this giant flying roach like smack right into my face while I was sleeping. Had my mouth open while I was sleeping because I used to grind my teeth as a child. And so I had the little bite things, but I hated the bite things because they would move around so much that I would try to fall asleep with my mouth open so that I wouldn't clench my jaw and like the bite things get out of place in my mouth.
Right.
And so they just irritated my mouth. So I had a flying roach fly smack into my face as a kid while I'm half asleep and crawl into my open mouth. So I've been slightly traumatized by roaches since then. Like, if it's a little one, I could probably kill it. Like, I could probably find a shoe and kill it. But if it's a big one, and the ones we get here in Arizona are like the inch or longer ones.
We call them palmetto bugs. Yeah.
Yeah. They are the gargantuans. They're the brontosaurus of the roaches. Kind of a thing. And so we got one the other day with the last, like, not this last big storm, but the storm before last. We had one. I walked into the bathroom the other night and I was just like, and like, it was so funny. I was like screaming and went running out of the bathroom, and my partner comes running in and is like, what? And I was like, it's go kill it. And they were just like, you're not like scared of anything. Like, we occasionally get the occasional scorpion because those are a thing in the desert. They're a thing actually in like a lot of places, but especially if you have mountains. And so we get the occasional scorpion. I can kill those. I don't even kill scorpions usually. I transport them. I like trap them in a glass and I take them like out and toss them like out into the we have an alleyway like behind the yard. I try not to toss it into the yard so that the dog doesn't have to like happen upon it. Yeah. But I'll toss them out into the alley and stuff. And it's just like, so I was mad. I was like, kill it. So what does my partner do? My partner decides to treat it like it's any other bug that's entered our home and trap it, and scoop it, and take it out. And I was like, it is a roach. It gets killed. Period. They don't do anything to like help the ecological balance.
The problem with killing a roach is that they release this like scent to other roaches, and it will draw other roaches.
All right, so maybe my partner was in the right. But I went in afterwards, also went into the bathroom because I do keep some bug spray. We get ants, and we have fire ants, and they all love to bite me. Even the little black ants that we have here, they bite. So yeah, they bite, and they bite hard, and it hurts, and I swell up really big. So I keep some in the house just for if we find them. So I went in there with bleach and bug spray and was like scrubbing the bathroom with a toothbrush afterwards, just because we had one of those big ass roaches get in the house. It was, can't do it. And I like Bonnie's reaction.
Yes. Oh my God.
That is exactly.
Exterminator on speed dial.
Yeah. Exterminator on speed dial. I mean, we do have an exterminator. Like, they come and treat our yard and stuff like that every, couple of months, especially for the ants. And we get a lot of spiders because we have trees. We have a lot of landscaping and everything. It's one of the reasons we bought this house over some of the other houses we saw, is because it already had beautiful landscaping. The previous owner had lived here since the 80s. So they had planted a giant pine tree and like all this stuff. Spence had a similar experience with a ladybug. Crawled into the can of pop, hadn't noticed until it was in the mouth. Yep. I don't know if I could do that with ladybugs because we buy ladybugs to put them in our house because they eat other bugs.
Yeah.
Like they eat little bugs that get on the plants and stuff, but they're not really all that harmful to actual like house plants and stuff.
Right.
So yeah. Thank you. We got it last year. So we moved in, we bought it last June 2020. Mm-hmm. And we bought it a lot sooner than we expected to buy it. We didn't think we had the money saved up for it in time. And then I happened to come into some money and was like, it was just enough to get us like all the rest of the down payment we needed. And he found out at his work that he could draw off of his 401k for the purpose of buying a house, but only for the purpose of buying a house. And we were like, hallelujah. So it got us a really nice house. It was one of those aphid fakers.
Which
Now the
from what
aphids
I
are
understand, like the orange ones that aren't red, um, I I came under the impression that they eat or battle ladybugs.
They do, and they take over. They're like a predatory species. So the
Mm-hmm.
aphids, they're a lot like little baby locusts. They just come through and like wipe out yards. They particularly love roses, so they get attracted to roses. But any kind of like blooming flower, they can be attracted to. We don't get them as much in the Southwest because of the heat. They don't hold up well. We also
Mm-hmm.
don't get as many ladybugs for that reason too, because they don't hold up well in the heat. But yeah, it's still very new in the long term, and we still have a lot of stuff to do. Like, we still have to, like, remodel the laundry room and the garage. We still have to add on to the back patio and, remodel the landscaping back there a little bit. We have to add the pool eventually, so we've got a lot of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like, lined up. We just do, like, one room remodel inside a year and then one big outside something a year is what we've been trying to do. We should
Cool.
probably do another.
We should probably do another sprint.
We should. I was just like, shit, we've been talking for a while.
You were talking about scorpions and just like urgent, like taking them outside. We did the same. I had jelly shoes as a child because you could tell if there was a scorpion
Something
in
in
your
them.
shoe before you put your feet in.
Uh-huh.
And then I came to the East Coast and people were wearing jelly shoes even though there are no scorpions.
No
And I'm like,
scorpions.
why are you wearing jelly shoes if you don't have to worry about bugs in your shoes? Like,
Exactly.
Bonnie is already writing. Yeah.
Yeah. Bonnie's already like, I'm already writing. Yeah, you just get down with your bad self, Bonnie. Okay. Okay. I was being chatty. I haven't seen y'all in a while. I was being chatty.
It's been a minute.
It's been a hot minute. All right, so let's.
Wow.
Oh, I got angry kitties. I am sure it is Gozer again. He,
Grumpy.
I don't know what's been up with him lately. He's been going after Domino for some reason. Now, they're both fixed. They've been fixed, but he's been going after her almost like he wants to mount her. So I'm not sure what the sudden aggression is between him and her.
Weird.
But I mean, I know it can happen if um I know it can happen if like he feels he's not getting enough affection or attention. I know, or any cat can become aggressive towards another cat if they feel like they're not getting enough affection or attention. But I think it's weird that he's going after Domino because she probably gets out of all the cats, and she's so skittish. She probably gets the least affection of all of the cats because she would rather just go off by her little old lonesome
Right.
and just watch life happen around her and get the occasional heads like. And
Mm-hmm,
so
mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, but also the boys fight him when he like tries to come after them. They like his, well, Spot doesn't, because Spot wants to be his friend. Spot wants to be
Right.
everybody's friend because he's just like
Exactly.
derpy. But so I'm not
Yeah.
sure what's going on with him. So I've been trying to pay extra attention. Yeah, I've been trying to pay extra attention to him, thinking maybe it's an affection issue. And also we've had to re-break out the training bottle.
Um.
I mean, we have Josh anyway, so the training bottle is out all over the house anyway, but I've actually had to use it on Gozer again. So, all right.
So about that
Let's put
sprint.
near 20 minutes on the clock because, yeah, I've tried to reset this to 20 at the beginning for a while and it's not doing it. So, we'll do 19 minutes and 56 seconds. All right, we are getting ready to sprint. 3, 2, 1. Sprint, y'all, sprint. Baby, 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 baby. All right. So that was good. I didn't really add into anything.
No?
I mean, well, I did. I added some stuff, but I was scrolling through looking for like where to drop a comment on, hey, we need to reference the hellfire in an enthralled person's eyes.
I
Maybe
was
this is a good
noticing
thing.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was doing that, and as I was going through that, of course, I was kind of slightly reading each section. So as I was doing that, the ADHD in me like went, ooh, I could flesh out that line. Ooh, I could
I
flesh out that
was
line.
in the
So
same boat. Yeah.
yeah.
I was
So
tweaking sentences. I was tweaking sentences as you were putting up, hints.
Yeah. And so, like, as I was putting up the hints, I was also tweaking some sentences here and there, and just fleshing out some scenes where I was like, ooh, it's a little bit of a white room right there. I should add some ambience or something, So, it's the ADHD in us, whether you have whether you are a writer that has ADHD or not, every writer has ADHD tendencies when it comes to like fleshing out and adding to their and editing their stuff, because we all get like we hyper focus. Writers all hyper focus in on projects, and we can hyper focus in on the weirdest things,
Yeah.
which is a core component of ADHD. And we're also weird. We also have weird, inattentive, like just can't focus million things at once. I've got to add this and I've got to take away this and I've got to fix that sentence there and I've got to do that in like 16 different places. And that squirrel that everybody thinks is just the most common part of having ADHD, which is not actually the case sometimes, but I think every writer does it as well. So I think writers, whether they have a neurodivergency or not, because many writers are actually neurotypical, more closely aligned to and understand people with ADHD
Artists
than I
too.
think.
Yeah.
A lot of artists in general, because artists do the same thing where we can, where you hyper focus in on a project and you just have to get what's up here out into your medium. And also, yeah, you could have multiple projects going.
I want to hyper focus on the eyes. I want to hyper focus on this color.
Yeah, exactly. It's just people who are neurotypical or don't have ADHD as their neurodivergency can make themselves hyper focus and make themselves squirrel as they need it. Where those of us with ADHD are like, oh, please just let the meds do what they're supposed to do and let me control that stuff. None of the meds actually let us control that stuff, by the way. But
no.
Sometimes we get close to being able to control it or direct it. I just direct it. Like yesterday I was on, so I was bouncing around between people's Twitch streams while I was at work, just because that's what I do in my downtime, is just stream up like 16 different Twitch channels at once. And I just go through, I hop back and forth through the chats, and then I turn some people down, like down roll. I don't mute them, because then that you don't count as a unique viewer on a Twitch stream for that streamer.
Yeah, you got to mute
the tab.
You got to mute the tab.
You got to mute the tab, not the. But you can't. Yeah. Anyway, but you can turn the stream volume almost all the way down, and then you can turn up other people. So I just go through periodically and turn people up and turn people down. But also, a lot of the Twitch streamers that I watch have closed captioning, like live captioning, which is cool. So I just go through and read most of them, and I bounce back and forth. But I was discussing that. I was discussing that yesterday I was just having squirrel day. Like I couldn't focus for very long. I could focus on one or two things at a time as long as I had some distractions going on, some stimulus, other types of stimulus going on that I could kind of like. So I was stealth writing during the day, which meant I could, write 12 words and then switch back to like doing work stuff, like answering a work email or taking a work phone call. and write 4 more words at the same time and finish a sentence. And somebody was like, how can you even get in the zone? I was like, I'm not in the zone.
I'm not in the
I'm
zone.
just
That's the whole
able
point.
to harness the distraction. Like I've been doing it for so long and had it for so long that I know when I'm having a day like that and I'm not going to be able to just focus in, which is why, Sako, that's why it said I may be able to get to that after work tonight. I wasn't able to get to that after work last night because as soon as I got off of work, my brain went, and dishes need done, and go pull some weeds because it's dry for a second outside, and go do all this stuff. I was like, I'm not going to get that done tonight. It'll have to get done tomorrow morning, and hopefully it can get done tomorrow morning. I knew it probably could because we were going to stream, and I can usually hone my focus enough for a stream thanks to medication because it's the first thing I take in the morning. Like feet hit the floor, my eyes aren't even open, take my meds.
Yeah.
Kind of a lot of people are like, how could you do that? What? It was like, because they're right there. It's like I hit the alarm and my meds are right next to it and my water bottle's right there. So the feet hit the floor, I stand up, I take my meds, I take the dog out. I got a routine.
Cool.
Okay. So yeah, they're hard. They're just hard some days. That is so true. That's so true. And Eva did pop in during the, let's see where we're at. I gotta
So did
back
Barrett.
a little bit.
Yay! Barrett's a new friend. Yes.
Yeah. Blarg. Jenny got 2 pages edited, so progress. Barrett. Yeah, Barrett is a new friend, and I'm so excited. I'm glad that you got to come out to the stream, and that I met Barrett on Twitch, on somebody else's stream. I don't remember whose stream exactly, but we were watching somebody's recently, very recently. Yeah, like within probably the last week, I think.
Who was I
so
with? I can't.
Yeah,
Kent. It was on Kent. Was it? No, it wasn't Kent.
I wasn't on. I didn't go to Kent's stream this week.
Was Chandra.
Oh, yes, it was on Sandra's stream.
It was celebrating those of us who've been on AuthorTube for a year.
Yep. Yeah, because I happened to raid into Chandra's stream even because I had Chandra's stream on, but then the stream I was with raided Chandra, and yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Debbie finished a panel.
Cool.
Friends. Oh boy, spelling is fun.
Yippee skippy.
Yeah, the human condition as it may be.
Yeah.
So Eva hasn't quite moved yet. October is likely when the move is set for. Job doesn't shift until then. Doing well though. Good. Doctor's appointment didn't have worse. Hey, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Haven't been able to settle into writing without feeling that so is okay. So I think we all go through this, Eva.
We do. We just came out of it for a 2 month stint. I think we both needed the break.
Yeah, I mean, you had been pushing so hardcore. I mean, I've had intermittent issues with this since last fall, where I've taken like an entire month where I'm like, I can't, like, this is fruitless. I can't do anything. Not that I wasn't getting stuff done. I was. It just, you feel like you're just like spinning your wheels in mud. And even though you're being productive, it's not at the level you feel it needs to be.
Just kind of treading water. Or you just don't even
feel like it's productive.
Yeah, just kind of.
Yeah. And, when you combine that with also being social, online or in person or whatever, and regular household responsibilities and just being an adult, it just gets that way from time to time. And it's good to just be able to take the time that you need as you need it and slow down so that you don't burn out.
Right. Because if you burn out, then your break is going to be a hell of a lot longer.
Yeah. So just recognizing that it's fine to take a little time off. So Eva, if you need to, switch focus for a little bit and pick up a new fun hobby for a little bit, not one that you want to like be a thing, but it's just going to be like fun for you, or just do something relaxing, then do that. July went well. August is meh. August is a hard month for me. Anyway, it always is. And it's a hard life for me personally, because August is when I lost my cousin a number of years ago, 12 years ago now.
Wow.
But she was so much like a sister to me. She was so close to, I mean, we were 6 months apart in age, and both of our sets of siblings were 10 years older than us. So we grew up more together than with our own siblings. So like, and it's just, I can think about her, I can talk about her, I can do all of that stuff. But at the beginning of August, every year, it's like a switch flips, and I'm just more down than normal.
Mm-hmm.
I just have rockier days here and there. And when it comes to my writing, I can write when I'm depressed and upset and things like that, but the product isn't as good. So I try not to. I do better once I get past her actual date that we lost her on. So once I get past the 16th of August, I do better.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still kind of meh for that whole month. And I know I'm going to have rocky time for the whole month. And my partner knows it. I know it. And it's just something to deal with. It never goes away.
That was my July, up until recently, actually, because 12 years ago, I met my soon-to-be husband, right? So, like, Facebook is like, hey, remember when you met this guy? And, like, you actually, like, hit it off, and, like, everything is, like, hunky-dory. And so now I have that to focus on rather than my assault,
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a shift.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a thing. And yeah, sometimes it's just different times of the year. And then some people also just go through the seasonal cycle between something in our brain for August, even though it's still technically summer, says it's fall. And so you do that shift from the summer into fall mindset, which is a little more sedate.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, and that can, when it's a little more sedate with that mindset, you can shift down a little. Like you can, it's just like downshifting on a car or a motorcycle or whatever. You could just downshift a little, and things slow down, and your mood, you have a little less energy. I feel like a lot of people do it, and that's just a seasonal response. That's just how we're programmed biologically.
Yeah.
So Spence took a nap during that sprint and just woke up. That's a good 20-minute power nap. Yeah, 20-minute power nap.
Good stuff.
I'm loving. Yes, Barrett, a gem on the AuthorTube bracelet. I'm just a charm on the AuthorTube bracelet. Barrett is a gem.
Yes.
Yes. Chandra, 1 year. Twitchiverse.
Oh, hearts.
Yeah, I like this. Ah, too sweet. My favorite. I like how everybody is so uplifting for the most part in our community.
Yeah.
I just feel like those of us that actually interact on each other's channels and streams are very uplifting of each other. There are a few toxic personalities out there on AuthorTube, but I don't feel like they come into the chats and bother really interacting.
Yeah.
Like they just put out their shade and tea videos, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Considering swapping to editing so that it's just me that's waiting for me to get ish done. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No pressure. Still some, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it does make writing easy to sacrifice when you are not in the right space for it. It makes art easy to sacrifice, which is kind of sad, because it needs to be like art is actually what would probably break most of us out of it and elevate most of it out of us. But there is a difference between just being burned out and actually just being like down and depressed. It's just really kind of hard to tell which one it is sometimes.
And one can feed into the other.
Yes, one can absolutely feed into the other easily. Both can feed into each other. You can be depressed and then end up burning yourself out, trying to get yourself out of depression. Art can really elevate people out of depression, can really pull them out of it and help. But if you're burnt out and art is your thing that you're burnt out from, then you have to like switch to something else, self-care or, you know, kind of a thing.
There are times where I have to take a week off of drawing, and like,
well, as much as you draw, definitely.
And it's very how do I put this? Because I am on all the time, I don't believe in artist's block. I don't believe in it. Same with writer's block.
I don't believe in writer's block.
I don't believe in it. Because I have to show up every day and I have to draw. Like, it is my job. I don't get to have off days. That's not a thing. So when I take vacation, I don't draw.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I mean, I'm the same way with writing. I don't believe in writer's block. I do believe you can be burned out.
Yeah.
That's not block. That's you just not having the energy to be able to put into it, to be able to prioritize it. It's not actually being a block, because you could make yourself sit down and write something. It's just, will it be at the level you expect it to be at and that you want it to be at?
You know, when it comes to writing, the thing that gets me over that hump, if I hit a wall and I'm like, I don't know where to go with this, I ask myself, what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst thing that could possibly happen in this situation? And then that I throw them into the wood chipper and story moves forward.
Yeah. Well, there's that. What I do is I set aside my actual projects and I bring up and start brainstorming characters, like doing character profiles and brainstorming just all new characters. I don't know what they're going to go into. I don't know what their purpose is, but it gets my brain moving and it gets me in creative, like create mode from scratch. It doesn't get me back in the rut of like a predefined project.
Right.
So it lets me be totally creative. It lets my ADHD hang out. Let's face it. I mean, I got 2 giant mirrored doors in my office that are just, I'm gonna have to show these to you guys at some point, that are covered in dry erase marker scribbles, because that's where I brainstorm stuff. Cool. And then once I get it all transposed into my Bible in like Google Drive, it gets taken down off the door. But yeah, so that's what I do is I just take my, yeah.
Oh man.
It's a but yeah, so that's what I do. So I just take myself off of my projects and just let myself just be balls to the wall, creative from scratch, like with no expectation placed on that creativity. Because I'm not going to use that crap. It's not for, if something pops up for my projects, it gets kind of put on the side. I write it out, it gets put off to the side, and I'll use it later. Great. But I'm not going to use it for anything. I might use it later, and I have recycled that shit like time and time again and used it for other projects later. Half of my shit that is in my paranormal mystery books is recycled from put my project aside and brainstorm and just create some new stuff. And then I adapt it later as I need it. So it feels very seen by the whole discussion. September through January is rough for Eva. Hey, that seasonal depressive disorder
is...
Yep. Seasonal affective disorder is what it's called. SAD.
My husband
Um,
my husband suffers from it as well. It starts about October and it goes through to, like, February or March, and that's why
yeah,
we have, like, Christmas lights everywhere, like, in the kitchen and in the basement and in the living room,
because it makes you happy,
like,
and it's a
I
light
have
source.
lights right in front of me, like,
Mhm.
it's it's to help with the sad.
Yeah. We have so mine has actually been better since we've been getting into the house plants and doing all the house plant stuff because with the house plants, Arizona houses are not set up to allow the bulk of direct sunlight to come into our homes. There's a reason for
There's a
that. It
reason
keeps
for
our
that.
energy bills low.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had to set up a bajillion grow lights. I mean, the desk light back there,
Mhm.
there's a grow light right next to it that you can kind of see shining down.
Right.
I've got a grow light that's over here, a giant bar grow light. I have a grow light on the end of my desk. We have two more grow lights up here above my bookshelf because there are plants up there. You can kind of see my one of my pothoses, one of their legs.
Yeah.
We have these grow lights just all over the house where we have the plants. So that has really helped us putting in these grow lights because it's UV light. It's like, hey, this is sunlight. This is what they need to thrive, and
Yeah.
it's what we need to thrive. So
Nice.
it's helped. But I have it usually August is bad for me, September is usually bad for me, or low for me. I get it again in December, usually until Yule. Once I hit Yule and the solstice, I get so jazzed over the solstice that
I
usually
cry.
that's enough to like yeah, usually that's enough to kind of I mean my energy is low and subdued, but it still just makes me it's a happy time for me. So it picks me up a little bit. And then I do the first of the year. I'm usually pretty good through the first of the year. And then it's usually February that I'm really struggling. Um, but yeah, as long as I remember to take breaks every 6 weeks or so and kind of like give myself a week off or 3 days off, like 3 days of solid, I loaf and do nothing but play video games and watch all of my favorite Star Trek stuff and like do stuff like that, then I'm good. Nap when I want, kind of a thing. I'm good.
Cool.
Eva's considering vlogging the move, almost to a planning stage level of discussion as a place to put focus. That's a good idea. Become kind of quite an island in a sea of red over the last year and a half. Hard to want to move forward sometimes.
I know the feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know the feeling. Barrett is totally there for the vlog. Let's vlog that move.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's why I vlogged. That's why I vlogged the office remodel when I did it, and did like the little vlog and the little video showing like the time lapse and everything. Because I had been bitching about my office for so long, and y'all deserve to see what I did to make it more me.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. Plus, I was just pretty damn proud of it because it went from cheesy, crappy, not a professional space to very sleek and professional feeling.
Yes.
Move feels like a vacation from life, but it'll actually be a new way of life. Opportunities on top of opportunities for building new habits. That's good. Just don't try to do too much at once.
That's daunting.
Because
I
yeah,
but you can do it. Like, I have faith
yeah,
in you.
yeah. Just make it scalable and sustainable. Add the new habits like one at a time, and just kind of let them grow into that snowball, that avalanche, instead
I
of
made
like
the
all at
mistake of
once.
trying to do things all at once, and, like, it did not work out. Something had to give.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we're her clasp, holding it together.
Oh,
Oh,
hugs.
Eva. Yes, hugs. Glad we can be here for you. And you can reach out. You can reach out at any time. Like, I'm not always the quickest at returning a message, but it will get returned. It just sometimes depends on the 50 other things I got also demanding attention right then, but it does get returned.
Mm.
Spence's body is mad at them for not taking Wednesday off as I usually do, and today is going to be an unintentional day off. That's fine.
As long as the time is taken.
Yeah. Schedules can be flexible. I know all about routine and schedules being flexible with ADHD. Everything has to be. The only thing I can count on being consistent with is that I'm inconsistent. Like, period. So I just have to, yeah. Like I have, you know, like I have my bullet journal. My bullet journal has a definitive thing set. But sometimes I just have to say, like, you know, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. I can't do that today to its full extent. Like,
and
if
I just bump it to the next day. Yeah.
Yeah, I either bump it to the next day or I try to do a fraction of it.
Yeah.
And I'll do that a lot with my writing, where I'll say, you know, today usually I have a pretty consistent, I want 500 words a day.
At least let me check in. You know, yes. If I can at least check in with the project, then I'll feel like I've made some kind of progress.
Exactly. So sometimes my big thing will be if I can't do 500 words, and I'll assign those words. I'll be like 200 words on Project Flambeau, 200 words on A Sight Unseen, which is my third book in the Paranormal Mysteries series. And then 100 miscellaneous words anywhere I want to allot them, kind of a thing, whether it's blog posts or, you know, whatever. And if I can't do the 200 words I have allotted on Project Flambeau that day, I open the document at least. Like, I'll step it down and be like, all right, I can't do 200 words today. Can I do, is it an orange? It's not, okay, if it's not a yellow day, is it an orange day? Can I do 100 words today? Yeah. All right, if it's not an orange day and this is a red day, can I open the document and see if Sako made any changes or notes?
Mm-hmm.
And if I can do that,
it doesn't help.
Great, that's all I need.
In black, like,
it's okay. It's okay. It tells me I can go in and track. I mean, I can go in and see what you did if I just take that one extra step and go, what were the most recent changes made? Cool. So that's fine.
Okay.
You know me. I mean, I can see it. Okay, I just have to do the one extra step. So no worries. Cool. But yeah, so, and if I can do that step, I am good. But most of the time, that is just enough for me to be able to answer Sako if she leaves a comment, or change a word that I see a typo with.
Yep.
Or, you know, or just even add 2 or 3 words to make it grammatically correct, or sometimes make it grammatically incorrect if it's speech, dialogue, sure. You know, whatever needs to be done there. And that's just gravy. So you do, like, so when I learned I had ADHD, when I was diagnosed with it, it made my whole life click into place. That was for damn sure. Mm-hmm. But I just had to learn how to build routines within routines that were, I'm having a green light day, I'm having a yellow caution light, I'm at orange level, or I'm at red. And I just had to build those in. And I know what they are, and I know what they are for every aspect of my life. Now, when something new pops up, that gets real chaotic, and I have to scramble to figure out something, which sometimes I get paralysis with and can't, like, scramble to figure out what it is. But sometimes that's where I'm just like, I'm going to go smoke and watch Star Trek.
Yes.
That's
those things.
I'm going to go smoke, and I'm going to go watch something sci-fi, probably from the 90s. You know,
I watch something,
or I'm going to watch,
like,
yeah, or I'm going to watch one of my 90s movies. My friend posted sometime back, she had posted this funny thing about the 3 things needed to summon her.
Oh, sure.
Like, if you were going to cast a spell to summon her, what were the 3 ingredients that you absolutely needed? So we were all chiming in, kind of a thing. And I had posted, you know, my red lipstick, a cat, and what was the other? Oh, a Milky Way bar.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'd put those were, yeah, and a Milky Way. Those will instantly summon BC to a room, because, like, I can turn down most other things, but if I hear there's a Milky Bar somewhere by, I'm like, you gonna eat that? Because I'd really like to at least have a bite of that. I don't know what it is about Milky Ways, but just love them. Anyway, and my partner saw the post and was like, "That's cute, honey, but that's not what summons you." And I'm like, "Really?" And they were like, "Well, your red lipstick is kind of necessary, but not absolutely necessary. But we'll put your red lipstick." He's like, "We'll put your red lipstick." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And he's like, "The cat isn't necessary either, but it's a good start for summoning you. Any animal will summon you." And I was like, "Okay, all right. I guess you do have a point there. Any animal would summon me." He's like, "But most likely a cat to be most potent." And then he was like, "But the Milky Way bar is not it. Any 90s feel good movie, or just any 90s movie, pretty much, except for like straight up horror movies, will summon your ass. If it's the Mighty Ducks, if it's Sister Act, if it's My Cousin Vinny, if it's a comedy, especially from the 90s, it will summon me."
Yeah.
And he's like, that is it. It's either that or you just Star Trek. And whoop, you're there. And I was like, "You do have a point."
You do have a point.
Yeah. So my block is action, not with creating. Yeah, I'm not a big writer's block as a term is just like,
I feel like it's a cop out.
It is a bit. It is a bit of a cop out, and it just bothers me. Mindset plus circumstances plus expectations, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if your self-discipline is lacking, your motivation can't help. Far too fleeting to maintain plans, so discipline is required for reaching goals nearly every time. To be blocked is motivation-based.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's just a lack of motivation. I'm not a well-disciplined person or writer either, which is why I have so many different routines within routines, or routines that I can be flexible with. Mm-hmm. But I got a lot of them. But it's also taken me years to come up with them. So, yeah, uninspired is what I say when I'm in that zone.
Yeah.
Listen to Ben Barnes sing because he's magically delicious.
Yay.
Yeah. It's okay to not want to do something during a phase, so that I know future me will wish I had done more while in the time I have. So it becomes a cycle of pressure and guilt. Pressure and guilt is the big thing.
Toxic productivity is also a thing. So feeling guilt when you're doing self-care, for instance, like, go easy on yourself. Like, I include self-care as part of my workday now, because I had a really bad habit of using self-care as a reward for things. Like, oh, I'll finish this thing and I'll take a shower, or I'll finish this thing and I'll eat some food, or I'll finish this thing and then I'll go to bed. And then I never finish, and therefore I never take the shower, I never eat, I never go to bed. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, no, I am including those things. It's something I've been working on the past couple of years.
Yeah, so self-care can't be a reward for things. Rewards are rewards. They are, I'm gonna have some chocolate. I'm gonna do some things that aren't normal. Like, those are rewards. But a lot of us do that. It's once I finish this scene, I'll get up and take a shower and do stuff like that. But then you're struggling with the scene, or it's not, or you're just in rewrite mode, or you finish the scene, but then you're kind of in the zone and you don't want to break your stride. So it's when you're thinking, okay, I'm struggling now a little bit with this scene. I had planned not to reward. I had just planned to take my shower after this scene, but I'm struggling. So I'll stop. I'll go take my shower. I'll relax, maybe get a little drink of water, and then I'll come back. So yeah. I'm looking forward to November, but that's also because I'm looking forward to promoting the hell out of Project Flambeau if we can finish on time. And looking forward to really buckling down on a sight unseen, or unknown. Hell, I can't even remember my own working title now. For the third book in my Paranormal Mysteries series, because it is long overdue.
Yeah, it is.
Bonnie streaming
Yeah.
lately anymore? Yeah, just a little bit. Every so often I see luggage, minimal things, furnish using the moving stipend. That's a good idea. That's what we did. That's what we did when we moved from the Midwest to Arizona. It was like next to nothing. We came down with a Ford Focus of belongings, and that included 2 human beings, a German Shepherd, and a 10-pound potato dog. In a Ford Focus, a 2-door Ford Focus. So we didn't move with much at all. So empty to whatever, no idea. I'm struggling with the frivolous nature of this method. Yeah, I'm going to go smoke and watch AuthorTube.
Yeah.
Although sometimes, I mean, that's good because you get the socialization, but be careful with it, because occasionally when I will tune into productivity stuff, it just makes the guilt compound.
Oh, really?
Like sometimes it does, because everybody is being productive and I feel like I'm not being productive, even though everybody is going, hey, you do you, boo, and don't have to be productive. But as Lori was saying, sometimes it gets a little there, and it's because we place so much pressure on ourselves as writers to be productive, especially if we're streaming it.
Oh my God.
That day. Like when I had insomnia the other night, the first thing out of my mouth was, I probably should be writing on this stream, but I can't. So I'm going to play Magic, and y'all are going to watch me play Magic online. Like, and I did that for fucking 5-6 hours that night. I mean, I could have gotten so much work done, and I knew I could, and I felt bad about it, but I couldn't do it.
No, that was 5 hours that you needed. That was 5 hours.
It was 5 hours, exactly.
You needed to play that game. And if people are going to join the party, then so be it.
Exactly.
You know?
So it can be, it can be very toxic to just compound yourself with that guilt. And I talked about it all through that stream where I should be writing, and that was just my guilt showing.
And tangible productivity is sorely lacking. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Some with books are like, y'all aren't doing enough, or you'd have books too. And some without books are like, gotta write so much to get perfect. It's just extremes. It is. It was so y'all might remember a few weeks back or a month back, I had posted like a graphic that said, writers are writers, whether they're published or not, or, things like that. And that's because it had come up in some groups where published writers were getting down on non-published writers who had no intention for to ever publish. They wrote for the sake of publishing. Some of them didn't even finish their project, or not for the sake of publishing, but for the sake of fun, or just getting it out of their heads, because they had no career aspirations about it. They just wrote because they are writers. They just didn't want to turn it into something. And people were getting down on them and been like, well, you're not a real writer unless. And I'm like, you are a writer. So we discussed that. We discussed it yesterday, even on my Twitch stream, of you are a writer if you write with purpose of any kind. If you write to tell a story, whether it is fiction or nonfiction or short fiction or lyrics or poetry or blog pieces, it doesn't matter. You are a writer.
You are.
It's not. Yeah. And then people were like, well, that's kind of like participation trophies when you say that. Like, a lot of people got down on that graphic. And I was like, because they're like, if you write a grocery list, as like, you're being facetious now, deliberately. You know that is not the purpose of this.
Right.
Yeah, you're being a dick. So don't be a dick.
Gatekeeping.
And take it for you know what the purpose is. And yeah.
Gatekeeping in the writing community just like puts a bad taste in my mouth.
It does. And it's there. I am glad to hear that what sparked that debate before I posted that graphic has seemed to have cleared itself out. And it was one very toxic writer who was just getting down on everybody else for not being published or or even they were even getting down on people not considering what they had already, other people had published under as being truly published.
Mm.
And I was like, I'm an indie author, which means I'm self-published. Do they not consider that published? I mean, I make profit off of it. I make a tidy little sum every year off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not an official contract because it's mine. It's with me, but I'm published. So would they not consider me published?
Because you're not traditionally published? Yeah.
Exactly. And I was like, but some of my projects are traditionally published. So they consider me traditionally published for those projects, but not for the indie projects. And I was just like, you can't, like art, there's no black and white. Art has every color in the spectrum in it. And so does writing and publishing, kind of a thing. So that was kind of it. It's part of the toxic author tube by and large. It's positive, but the toxic bits are awful. And I just avoid the people who are toxic. I try to very hard. Like there are a few author tubers that I know a lot of people love and they follow them and they're on all their streams, but I don't bother to follow them. I'm not subscribed to them. I pop into things occasionally if they are doing things with other people I do follow. But I try to avoid those individuals as much as I can. I don't watch their videos if they have videos. I don't understand why they're so popular, but, to each their own.
Right.
Sometimes it's because some of us are masochists. But anyway.
Yeah.
I write and have a small business, so technically 2 businesses. Sometimes my writing falls behind to keep up with a small business. Doesn't make me less of a writer. Exactly, Ginny.
Right on.
Exactly. If people critique the publishing route and not the book, they aren't interested in the art, only the artist. Exactly. That is very, very right. Okay. Bye, Barrett. I have to pretend to shower and brush hair ahead of a live stream I'm guesting on. Yes, that's a good idea. I have to pop into the shower really quickly because work is going to start probably soon. So love you too. Stay healthy and well. Enjoy. Be productive if you can. If not, be you and do you. Yeah. So that is, we are overtime. I was going to try and squeeze in like a 10-minute sprint before we go. So not a huge amount of productivity today, but
we caught up.
Sako and I did, but we caught up. We fleshed out some ideas and also what we got surprised about.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a good place. Plus, I'm hoping Fridays until the end of the day are usually very good days at work.
Okay.
It's just a lot of like emails and stuff. So usually I can get some stealth writing done. I'm kind of hoping. But if not, then, I'll do what I can when I can tomorrow or this weekend or something.
Yeah.
Because that's how it will be. Sako, why don't you go ahead and do your outro?
Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as Cass Voigt. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those 3 things. If you are interested in videos pertaining to marketing for authors, we both have videos on the subject. You can find them on my channel, and you can find them on her channel, and like I have a whole playlist. It's that thing. That channel. And we will catch you guys on the flip side.
Absolutely. And y'all know me. I am BC. And if you don't know me and you don't know where you're at, you need to do more than self-care right now. But please go ahead and get weird with my like button down below, subscribe to me, and click the notification bell. Sometimes YouTube's notifications actually work. I will be live streaming, like I said, on YouTube on Fridays, starting today, August, 20th? Yes, August 20th, 2021. I will be on YouTube on Fridays from 7:30 a.m. till 9:30 a.m.-ish Mountain Standard Time. And I will be on Twitch live streaming writing sprints on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7:30 a.m. till 9:30-ish a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and then randomly for other stuff. I will get posted and up soon. The September 4th and 5th, we'll get those posted for those all-day 5K writing sessions, 10K weekend push that Sako and I will be doing coming up. We would love to see you all there. Thank you to everybody who came out today. It warms my heart that I was not live streaming for a very long time, and you all just came back to see me. Like, squish, squish, squish. Okay, so that is all my weirdos. Write when you can write, and brainstorm when you can't write. And when you can't do either, take care of yourself, because it's okay that you can't do either that day or even that week. Perfectly okay.
Perfectly okay.
Give yourself a little mini vacation. It's fine. Be productive as you can, and when you can't, give yourself a break. You know, cut yourself some slack. Love you all very much. You are all my weirdos. Hey, that's weird music going on. That shouldn't have happened. And I'm going to lead us out with my outro. Well, it's my intro video, but you guys are just going to see it again. Love ya. Bye.